In a first for the Star Wars franchise, we have a non-episodic movie. What? Shut up. This film takes place directly before the original 1977 film and involves a group of rebels who attempt to steal the Death Star plans. There's a ton of action, loads of characters, and numerous winks, nudges, and Easter eggs that are bound to either dazzle fans or irritate them to no end. You'll soon find out which one I am. So as per usual, I'll start with the positives. The film is gorgeous. The visual effects are top-notch here, for the most part. The ships and planets are fantastically detailed, as are the creature designs, which are a mix of practical effects and CGI. The scope of ships, planets, and the Death Star itself is massive. This is a huge film. As evidenced by his last film, Godzilla, director Gareth Edwards knows how to make things look larger than life. The ensemble characters are a whole lot of fun. The droid K2 is like a badass C-3PO. He's very dry and straightforward with his delivery, and bluntly states his opinion, even if it isn't all too flattering. The character is probably the highlight of the film. I enjoyed the camaraderie of Chirrut and Baze. Donnie Yen's character, Chirrut, in particular, I found to be the most fascinating. There's also Bodhi as the pilot who has his own reasons for joining the rebellion. And the action is all spectacularly well done. Donnie Yen's fight scene is great, as are the dogfights in the air and in space. And then there's one really cool fight near the end of the film that left a giant grin on my face, but I dare not spoil it. Now, here are the negatives, and sadly it starts with our two main leads, Jyn Erso and Captain Andor. Honestly, I did not care for Jyn. I felt like I barely knew the character other than her past. I won't put the blame on Felicity Jones, as she is a great actress, but she has nothing to work with, as this character is flat. She has this cold, lifeless stare, which one might think is part of the character, but I can't accept that excuse. The audience needs to relate with a main character on some form of emotional level, and if the main character has little to no emotion, why should I or the audience care? And the same thing can be said about Andor. His whole character is to be the stern and annoyed captain. Never does he change, and neither do I feel invested in him. Rogue One revels in the amount of Easter eggs it places in this film. When it came to Force Awakens, it was borderline annoying, but it was passable there as it was the first Star Wars film in a long time. Here, get ready, because every 5 to 10 minutes there's some sort of reference that unmercifully beats you over the head with a plastic lightsaber. Granted, some of them are okay, like some brief appearances by prequel characters, and yes, I listed that as a positive as it helps bridge the gap between episodes 3 and 4. But then there are background characters from episode 4 who had a small scene in that film and are given a small scene here for no purpose than to shoehorn them in. Every time they did it, it took me out of the film and it really began to annoy me. And that leads to two characters who are also placed in the film. I won't name who they are, but these characters are brought into the film through the use of CG and stand-in actors. It's an interesting concept, but the problem is it takes you out of the film as well, because no matter how convincing the effect may be, you know it's not real. In certain shots the effect is passable, but more often than not, it was very creepy and unnatural to look at. And I wouldn't be harping on this if it was in it for one scene, maybe two, but this CG character keeps coming back, and the more it's on screen with real actors, you catch on very quickly how much it doesn't fit in. I really wish they just scrapped the idea. Now the real question is, did I like this film or am I just another nitpicky Star Wars critic? Well, both. There are moments of sheer brilliance here. It's gorgeously shot, it's pretty entertaining, and I appreciate the gritty tone of it. I enjoyed the side characters a lot, but how sad is it that I found them more enjoyable, more soulful, and more human than our corpse-like leads? The amount of Easter eggs is a bit too much for my liking, and the necessity to use these two CGI characters is questionable. I'd still recommend it, but if you're looking for the next Force Awakens or the next Empire, this film, it is not. Thanks, this is an O.M.M review. This is O.M.M, signing out.